Yo, what up, everybody? I'm Jay the Kid. That's Broke Boy Bray.
Yo.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Four Ropes Full Podcast. Now, if you've been paying attention to the social medias and everything, then you know exactly who today's guest is. Man, coming out of Canada, a guy who's been making a name for himself for the past couple of years right now on the scene. Had some pretty good matches, had a pretty good showing at IPW Game On. Had a lot of good spots in this match. I mean, great fatal four-way match. I think that honestly, we're going to end up probably doing a reaction to the highlights of this matches and everything. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got our guy, Spike Estey. How you doing, man?
How you doing, boys?
Man, we good. We good, man.
Excited.
Just chilling and everything. So, as being on the podcast, we just want to say thank you for hopping on again. It's one of those situations where we thought we definitely reached out to you way sooner than this moment and everything. So, for us to be able to, just be able to do it now and everything, big appreciation to you for coming on to the show.
No, it's great. Thank you for giving me the platform to get my name out there. I'm still relatively new in the business. I mean, I've been around for just over a year, so it's good to get my name out there, and it's exciting. This is my first podcast ever, so yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, excited.
Hey.
Well, kind of backing off that, you just started wrestling not too long ago. What kind of got you into the sport? Like, were you like a fan as a kid growing up? And like, kind of what made you just decide now was like a good time to kind of jump in there?
So yeah, I've been a fan for like as long as I can remember. I was pretty young. I was born in '92, so I got into it when I was young. I think right around like the end of the Attitude Era, '99 ish.
Okay.
Loved it as a kid, man. Like, I mean, what kid who grew up watching wrestling didn't have friends that would go out and friggin' do some backyard wrestling and stuff, right? So always loved it. Uh, and I never, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I never really realized the how good of a wrestling scene there was in the Maritimes in the last even the last decade or more, uh, until just a couple of years back. I heard about CCW. I think I saw a poster up or whatever here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and I said, "Well, frig, like there's local wrestling. Let's gather up a group of guys," and went to watch, right, and had a blast, man. Like it was my first like kind of indie wrestling show, local show, and it was so much fun. And it just like it opened my eyes to like this possibility that maybe it's something that I could do. I never thought it was realistic because, like I said, I wasn't aware of what was around. I'm also a guy who's had 3 open heart surgeries. Not sure if you guys knew that. So with my health history, it was like not something I ever really thought too much about. But I was like, you know what, frig, like I've played hockey, like I've kept myself in good health. Like I'd love to give it a shot and see if my body can handle it, if I can handle it. Something I love, and maybe it's not for me, but maybe it is. And anyway, I reached
You
out to
never know
CC.
until you try, right?
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And I thought like I'm in a good place in my life. I thought, well, you know what, like give it a shot. So I reached out to CCW. And it's probably like a month later at the next show, and I started training. They said, "Come on by. We got a spot we train at Tuesdays and Thursdays." And it was the show. I think was a Saturday or a Sunday. I can't remember, but it was that Tuesday I started, and that was it, man. I fell even more in love with it than I already was. You know what I mean? It's a totally different animal doing it than just watching it, but yeah, it's been an awesome journey. It's been great for me. It's the only thing the best thing I can compare it to is when you're a kid and you get excited on Christmas morning or whatever it is, but that like childhood innocence, it's that excitement you get that you don't necessarily get as much as you get older with certain things. You still look forward to certain things, you still get excited, but that when I'm in the ring, like when I come out through that curtain, it's the only thing I think in my life that kind of gives me that feeling that I had when I was a kid. It makes me feel like a kid again, and that's and that's the only thing in my life that like brings that feeling back. So it's pretty cool, man. I love it. It's been awesome to get
Okay.
out there and do what I love and I'm passionate about.
I love that, man.
Gotta give a round of applause to that. I love that, man. I love a good story and everything, man. I love a good backstory and a good
I've got
reason
lots.
for doing what you're doing. Like, the
Hey,
one
man.
thing we respect here is just anybody who has still the passion and opportunity to go for it and capitalizes on it. That's something that we respect. So it's like a huge, definitely, shout out to you for being able to come on and tell your story. We're gonna have to get into definitely a little bit more of this as we get through talking. But today, Bray, since we're doing it just a normal podcast today, we got our man Spike just chilling with us. We're gonna talk about this week in wrestling. As we already know, it's taking social media by storm. John Cena and this pipe bomb. What we thinking about it?
Definitely
You want
interesting.
my
Definitely a
opinion?
good turn. Yeah, I would say definitely a good turn for the heel turn that we've seen so far. As kind of been, we're getting to that halfway mark for him retiring and everything. So it's definitely interesting. Like I was telling you before we started the podcast, just more curious to see how they follow up on it and how we proceed forward. But it was cool.
All right, Spike. What about you, my man? What you think about it so far? If you caught it,
Oh, I caught it. So if you've watched any of my matches, you may kind of figure that I'm a big CM Punk guy. I do the GTS and anyway, love Punk. He's my guy. So with that being said, uh, obviously I'm pulling for Punk in this whole thing, but I thought it was interesting because this is a side of Cena that nobody's seen since very, very, very early days of John Cena. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool kind of play on the history that they had before, and obviously, not to say he's ripping off the pipe bomb, but using that as kind of a way to reverse roles in the whatever 10, 15 years later storyline they got going on. And I thought it was cool too that because if you go back to the original pipe bomb, it was R-Truth and John Cena in the match when Punk put the pipe bomb, and then cut to John Cena and R-Truth again. But things were a little different. But all three of those guys were all involved both times, so it was a pretty cool little callback.
see, I said the exact same thing. Well, kind of like to it. It's like most people remember the words that CM Punk said more than they remember who was in that moment. Like, everybody, like I said, they always, when WWE plays back CM Punk pipe bomb, they never showing that ramp to ring camera angle unless like John Cena and CM Punk had history around each other. Once they brought that back into the mix, then you see the full segment where you see Cena just laying there in between the table, just like how Punk was this Friday. It's like it's a good callback to all of this, but at the same time, it's one thing that Cena messed up on. If he would have said that the night before Night of Champions, we'd be way more stuck on it now. But now we
That's
gave
true.
CM Punk a week to think about what he gonna say to John Cena. Come on now, I guarantee
Punk
what
is gonna go crazy.
CM Punk finna say something to John Cena that might make John Cena mad. And I don't mean the heel and wrestling. I mean he might piss off John Cena.
Shades of AEW Punk coming out.
Like it's gonna be one of them moments to where legit, like I'm gonna be holding on to the collar of my shirt like this because I don't know if CM Punk gonna say what he gonna say.
I saw a tweet last week that was like, it was just like the Meet the Grands beat. It was like, this is CM Punk coming out on Monday Night Raw.
Man, I can't fathom the idea of basically CM Punk having enough time to execute one of the best WWE promos of the last couple of years. You don't leave CM Punk that much time. If this was CM Punk in his prime, CM Punk probably be fired after the promo. They would be okay with making a whole nother belt and everything. He would be out of there. because this new CM Punk, like, he ain't gonna try to purposely piss off John Cena, but the fact that he gonna say some shit that he's saying, like, Cena might be in the back, like, all right, he got 2 more of these before I have to go out there. But like, now, Night of Champions, if it does happen and everything, like, we're gonna have to see exactly who WWE has more faith in with this belt.
Yeah.
Because if they give it to CM Punk is not a spring chicken. I'm not saying he ain't gonna go out there and compete. I'm not saying he ain't gonna go out there and put full belt to ass when it comes to this wrestling shit. But I'm not comfortable with putting him in that predicament, just like I wouldn't be comfortable if we did Roman Reigns or goddamn Seth Rollins or goddamn, like, I'm not fully convinced that CM Punk could actually, like, carry the championship all the way into SummerSlam and then have a good ass match and continue that reign into, like, the Rumble or Mania or something. That's me personally, just because the age right now.
I mean,
it's hard to say. How I feel
there's
personally.
There's so many ways they could go about it. And the thing with the WWE right now is they've been really all in on, like, the long-term storytelling. And I think that is, I mean, I get what you're saying about the age thing. I do think, and maybe it would be a little drug out, I don't know, but I mean, I just looked at the, like, Drew McIntyre Punk angle they did last year, and, like, that was like the whole year pretty well. That was drug out, but, like, it was one of the best, if not the best, storyline they had going. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, obviously, if Punk can stay healthy and everything, then I, like I said, I'm a Punk guy, so I can't really, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
But,
we also got to take into the fact
could,
that Seth Rollins has the Money in the Bank right now, so you never know what could really go down Saturday.
Here's the thing about it.
Could he be involved? Could he get involved? Could he? I could honestly see, like, if Punk ends up winning, Seth cashes in, like, instantaneous, continuing that feud. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
See, and here's the thing. When I mean it by, like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do that, I'm talking about the press runs being in front of everybody's faces. Like, the WWE Championship, to me personally, is different from the World Heavyweight in so much because it's not as mainstream. Like, I'm not being real. You're not seeing the World Heavyweight Championship on goddamn ESPN. For real. Seth Rollins did it one time. I'm cool with that. Becky Lynch did it one time.
But cool, you don't see Punk doing, like, that, like, kind of run.
Not even that. You didn't see Jay Uso, and he every fucking where. You ain't even see him on ESPN with that motherfucker. You ain't seen Gunther at no real sporting events holding this goddamn championship because it's not really that looked at as the title I'ma give the fuck about. That WWE Championship, you seen that championship every goddamn where. You seen that motherfucker. It's not a single place where you can't identify the WWE Championship. You can't do it for the World Heavyweight Championship either if you're a true wrestling fan. But that WWE Championship, you see that big ass WWE logo in front of it, you know that that's the man. The World Heavyweight Championship is like that cousin that get to come over on the weekends that you, that's what the World Heavyweight Championship is to me at times because it's never really been presented as the top prestige title in wrestling. Right. Like I be saying all the time, the way it was awarded to Triple H, and ever since then, everybody else has had a moment to be rewarded with the belt. Remember, Dolph Ziggler basically got that bitch from Edge because he used the spear one time. That's a real thing that happened. So the fact that all of this is basically supposed to tell me is you brought back the World Heavyweight Championship belt to be a secondary because Roman is the big belt holder. Yes, y'all made the World Heavyweight Championship seem important. See? So it's like that belt right there means everything to the company. So that means you're going to put CM Punk in front of every goddamn body face again. That means he got to travel from here to here. He got to go from there to there. He got to do
I
some
mean, but
shit
he's
over
doing that
here.
just normally already, though.
Here's the thing, though. It's not as busy as the WWE Championship. Because I get CM Punk was traveling in that motherfucker, but Cody was every fucking where. He doing interviews on morning talk shows that don't got shit to do
I would
with
say, game
nothing
that I
that
don't think you
WWE's
were
doing.
really watching the landscape because Punk literally has been doing that shit too. It's just not as big because Cody has a championship, so of course it's gonna get spread everywhere. But all the wrestlers really go on crazy press runs. It's just not as talked about. I'm always seeing niggas on Chris Van Vliet little shit, just talking or just doing little interviews
But
with
even
like
then, like
different.
he's hitting. Even then, like Chris Van Vliet is like hitting those guys up, making stuff work out like that. I'm talking about like I understand because I see that with Bianca and Montez show, like they always on a motherfucking go. If it like she had to go travel to go meet the girls at Compton when they was doing the WrestleMania entrance. Montez Ford had to go somewhere else after that, and like I get the schedule is crazier and shit like that. But it's like when you are the top guy, you got to do all of these press runs. Plus, you got to go try to do match of the night. You got to do the most work. You got to basically be seen as the detailed version of the greats when you hold this goddamn belt. And it's a lot of pressure put on these guys again. That's what I'm saying. Are we really gonna put that pressure on what is CM Punk like? Almost 40? Is he 40?
No, he's in his 40s.
So it's
So it's
probably
like
over 40, yeah.
so yeah, it's like are we really gonna put that same amount of stress trying to be the main guy and shit like that? I know he would want it one more time, but even then, if it's not gonna be a good run, then what the fuck was it for? Because like Spike said, if they cash in, if Seth cashes in after he wins the championship, what the fuck was the point of giving him the championship then? Let Seth Rollins go do Heist of a Century Part 2 in a whole nother fucking country. Let him go get that then. Like, fuck it. He interfered in your shit one more time, so now you gotta stay on. You gotta stay on SmackDown now because Seth Rollins is WWE champion. The WWE championship is exclusive to SmackDown. So now CM Punk is back on SmackDown, and now we got another motherfucker addition into the goddamn WWE Championship hunt. So think about this: if Seth Rollins wins, he has John Cena to look at to get his championship back. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest weirdly fits into that situation. Jacob Fatu, what happens after he loses the United States Championship? Is he supposed to just wait in the background and join the tag team again? No, he wants the big gold motherfuckers. Like, who's another? LA Knight. R-Truth randomly fits into this again now that he lost his damn mind. It's so many more challenges now to where if Punk would have went to SmackDown, he still got to go face these challenges. You let Seth Rollins win it, now he gets shuffled over to SmackDown, and CM Punk also got a whole nother set of fucking problems. And just randomly, even if CM Punk wins all of those moments to get his hands on Seth Rollins, who else is on SmackDown that we ain't seen in a little bit? Drew McIntyre. He could still be like, fuck both of y'all. Claymore. Oh, Seth Rollins think he finna join him. They smile at each other. Drew McIntyre run up Claymore. It's fuck both of y'all now. And now you got another addition to everybody else who wants a chance at the goddamn gold. Why, if you go to Raw, it looks like nobody wants to be a contender. To where Goldberg had to bring his ass back. I get it. Goldberg finna have his final match and everything. I understand that. But Goldberg, nobody else has even mentioned since Jey Uso lost that motherfucker. I ain't heard a backstage segment or nothing that nobody's like, man, it's my opportunity to go for a title this year, whether it's the Intercontinental or the World Heavyweight. I'm going to go get me a belt. Nobody wants an opportunity? You telling me nobody on that roster wants a goddamn opportunity? Seth Rollins barely has had real interactions with goddamn Gunther. And he's the champion on the show you're on. Monday Night Rollins, y'all gonna move that shit to Friday? Friday Night Rollins now? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? CM Punk winning this championship makes no sense if he's either not going to have a good run or he's not going to have a run at all because Seth Rollins going to take that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I just randomly fucking forgot as I was ending Roman Reigns, too. I'm going to let it go. What was you saying?
Well, I was just going to say, before the whole Punk stuff started, my whole prediction for this whole John Cena thing, and, now with what you're saying, I don't see John Cena losing the belt anytime soon. But what I do see, and this was my prediction right from the get-go, I feel like the only person, and I don't know how I feel about it exactly. I don't hate it, but I'm kind of impartial. I feel like it's just going to be Cody Rhodes is going to end up taking it from him eventually. He gets his belt back because he's the one that lost it to John, and that's been my prediction right from the get-go. Obviously, I want Punk to win. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't really. I feel like they're leading up to like Cody going to be the one to end up win it back and then maybe somehow turning John back babyface before he retires. That was my prediction right from the get-go, but hard to say, right?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they could always turn Cody heel because he didn't say shit Friday night, even though he was just sitting out there.
I'd love to see it.
Nah, you right. So we're going to take this time to do another segment on our show, Visionary Debates. Now, Bray, I'm going to be real with you. I'm not debating anything. It's going to be you and Spike. But I'm going to have you defending a random set of tag teams.
Oh, fucking Christ.
And they all include one man, the same man for each one, the Big Show. You are going to be defending why Jericho is the best, and Spike is going to be defending why Miz Show is the best. If y'all don't remember, Big Show held tag team, I think the unified tag team championships with both of these men.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be defending why Chris Jericho is his best. Spike is going to be defending why the Miz is his best. Now, who wants to go first? We're going to put 5 minutes up on this board.
Because I don't know if I can defend that one.
Okay, I can defend Jericho.
All right, whenever you're ready.
I mean, when Jericho was around, they held the tag team titles for like a fucking straight year without losing to anybody and won most of their matches clean, if I remember correctly. Jericho was really good because that was when Chris Jericho was still arguably in his prime era, and he just had Big Show there as just a big brute that he was able to work with and just fight. So, I mean, yeah, in my opinion, Jericho. I really enjoyed Jericho. I thought it was really fun.
I didn't hate Jericho.
Their little interactions with DX were entertaining back in the day. Just, yeah, I mean, it was just pretty much running through the tag division and everything.
Yeah, nah, I mean, I'm not upset at that. You cooking right now?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what else to say because I don't remember any of their matches. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a cool tag team, but it wasn't like a really rememberable tag team because it's not like there was like a specific match you can go back to and be like, oh, okay, that was a really good showing by the two. You just remember that they were a really good tag team together for some strange reason.
One thing I'm going to add to your point since you basically defended it the best you could. The one thing I can say I remember from that shit is not a good memory. Big Show having that purple and black singlet mix.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was disgusting. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, this made me hate Big Show even more. And Big Show turned on Raw at goddamn bragging rights. And I sat there and was pissed off at that. But Big Show wearing purple and black as a mixture in a singlet, top 5 most violating things I've seen in wrestling when it comes to attires.
Didn't he have like a weird
my stomach hurt.
Goatee or some weird facial hair at the time too? I know he was bald at the time.
He did have like a goatee going on.
He did just only had a goatee, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looked funny. I don't know. It wasn't a good look.
Hated it.
Now we want to talk about this show. I'm going to be honest. I don't even remember that. When was this?
God, when was Miz Show?
Miz Show was like, this was like...
It was like right after Jericho.
Yeah, like this was like when Miz was like U.S. champion as well.
So like 2010, early 2011 before he would have won the WWE
Yeah,
Championship.
this like when Miz wasn't wearing full suits. He was wearing like he was like wearing shirts and vests and shit like that with his hair slicked back. He was still calling himself the Chick Magnet too.
So they were probably, like I said, I don't really remember this, so it's hard to defend. But I
Yeah,
feel like maybe they were kind of trying to recreate the Jericho show, because I mean, Miz and Jericho, I mean, they're not the same, but like kind of, you could kind of get like the same kind of personality stuff out of Miz that Jericho was doing, maybe. But I don't know. I wish I could remember that, but I actually don't. I'm not a big Miz guy, so maybe that's why. I at the around that time too, I wasn't watching quite as much.
Mm-hmm.
Man, nobody can blame me for that. It
Yeah, I
really wasn't a
mean,
crazy era.
it wasn't like one of the eras where
Yeah.
it's like if you missed out on it, you're sleeping because a lot of
Yeah.
bullshit happened. Like Jack Swagger was a champion for like 60
Oh,
days.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like that was mainly some of the WWE shit. Like Alberto Del Rio wasn't even in the world championship picture at that time. Jinder Mahal was in his first version of
3MB.
nah, this is before 3MB. This is when he used to come out in like white and gold.
I don't remember that.
He tried to steal the Great Khali from like from his his Paul Heyman basically. He basically tried to steal him from him like on that type of shit. And Jinder Mahal used to always just get beat up by Khali and Santino for some reason all the time. So it's like I can understand if you really wasn't watching it during that time, just because I mean it's
Well, there was like,
it's nothing that you're missing. So it's like
I
you ain't
had,
see no shock
yeah,
factor.
yeah. I was into it hard from like 1999, whenever I first got into it, and then I started not getting out of it. Not like I always liked wrestling, but like I guess maybe I just wasn't. It wasn't appealing to me quite as much, the WWE stuff. Like I think it was like 2005 or six. I started slowing down with it a little bit. It might have been my age too. I was getting into other things. And then, you know, what brought me back, to be honest, was when The Rock was coming back to be the host of WrestleMania 27, because I was a big Rock guy. He's the first guy that I ever seen on TV. He was my introduction to wrestling. So I was like, oh, I got to tune in to see The Rock. And then from there, I started getting back into it. Punk was really blowing up around the time. Then then I just full blown sucked right back into it. So from like 2005 or six to like 2010, I was only watching a bit. So the Miz show thing, yeah, I don't really remember that, to be honest. So I think I lost that debate pretty clean.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I hated both tag teams, but I wanted to see who would probably be the best to defend it. If I had to give one, I would probably say it has to be the Miz show. Me personally, here's why.
It's actually called Show Miz. I just
Show
looked it up.
Miz, yeah, Show Miz. I like it just because the Miz at that time needed a reason to be hated again. And like he didn't really like succeed in the tag team with John Morrison because like I mean the dirt sheet it was good at that time. I fuck with it because it gave WWE like another reason to like put some heels up for business.
Yeah.
Because most heels don't get the goddamn shows and all this shit. It's always a face. So to let them just be online talking they shit and actually having a blog for this shit was hilarious. But it didn't do much for the Miz in the long run because the Miz ended up having way more better partnerships and storylines without John Morrison. Even then, I could have probably said the Miz and R-Truth, like they little shit that they did together when they was beating up everybody for no damn reason. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they got fired and shit, but you know, I mean, they basically they was a good ass team.
Yeah, that was
Alex
a good part.
Riley and the Miz, like, was a good ass collective. So it's just like Miz and Big Show, like you already had heat on Big Show because Big Show basically already was like they had the fat jokes ready for him. They had the like, oh, you just a flopper. You just move from one partner to another. You're a groupie. Like they already had this shit on Big Show. So for the Miz to be like, all right, I'm aligned with you, and they win some gold for a little bit of time, I thought it made sense. But now we got through most of our stuff in wrestling. So now this is gonna be our one-on-one segment. So rest of these questions are gonna be about you specifically. Spike,
Right
you
on.
ready?
Yeah.
You know, when it comes down to it, what do you feel is something that is not utilized enough when it comes to professional wrestling? Whether that means like a certain move, a certain tactic in the ring, just a certain thing in wrestling that you feel isn't being used enough.
I think isn't being used enough. Uh, I think I don't have one specific thing, but I think that uh, simplifying things is kind of a lost art form because I think now everybody tries to do all this crazy stuff and I think when you slow things down, take your time and just sometimes simple is better is what I'm trying to say. And I know and there are still some like old school guys that do that. Like look at a Gunther, for example. Um, the guy doesn't do anything super crazy. He chops a lot. He does a couple cool little things, but like he's very he's a throwback but it works. It works. I mean, depending on the person, but I think just simplifying things, and that's one thing that I've been taught since I started into this was don't overcomplicate stuff. Take your time. It's not always rush, rush, rush. So there's a time and place for that. Don't get me wrong, but and I'd say just for another answer, and I think it's kind of making a real good comeback, but like storytelling in matches as opposed to just spots, right? Which listen, I love everything. I'm not a guy who hates AEW or hates New Japan or only likes this or that. Like I like it all. I'm a fan of all different kinds of wrestling, but you got to have storylines, man. Like it's what kind of brings you in. I love it, and then if you have a banger match on top of it with the story on top of that, you're golden. So uh, simplifying things and storytelling.
Okay, okay. Bruh.
Um, you mentioned earlier that The Rock was like kind of like your big like draw factor into wrestling. Who would you say are like some of your other like huge inspirations, or like you kind of take up to like when you're thinking about like your wrestling style specifically?
Okay, that's so. Um, like yeah, The Rock was. I remember being at my friend's house across the road, and The Rock was cutting one of his backstage promos, probably on Michael Cole or something, back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. So he was, doing his goofy rock thing, and I was like, man, who's this guy? I don't really take anything from The Rock. I was a big Jeff Hardy guy too. He was my guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, Raw 2002 ladder match for them to do the title. Like, I thought Jeff Hardy had that friggin' thing, man. Yeah. Um, that's a match. Like, I know we're not talking about favorite matches, but that's probably one of my favorite matches just for what it made me feel one time. But for me, for inspiration and like stylistic wise, Punk. Like Punk is, he's not the biggest guy. He's not a big muscle guy, but he's also not a super high flyer. And I'm kind of in that, you know, tweener. So
Okay.
something like that. Jeff Hardy to an extent, but I'm also not like trying to like kill myself here. Doing anything jumping off ladders and stuff. So uh, I'm a little too old for that, and I got a 6-month-old baby. So, but
Mm.
and since I started training, I was really pushed to watch Bret Hart a lot. So, and with the Bret Hart thing, it goes back to the simplistic, like and the basics and stuff like that. So I don't know, like just somewhere in between those guys is my answer, I guess. I like to throw my own spin on things too.
You know, you had me sold already. You said my favorite wrestler all time and my favorite match of all time as well.
Yes, sir.
Spike, yeah, you're free to come back on anytime you want to, my man. I'm not
Friggin' right, man.
this.
Love to.
See, I mean, I love the Jeff Hardy love that is just being given because Jeff Hardy gonna be one of those guys to where like when WWE do like if they ever do a Mount Rushmore of everything, they have to put Jeff Hardy somewhere. Tag team, high flyer, I don't give a damn how many statues and Mount Rushmores you got to do. If you're making a Mount Rushmore, Jeff Hardy got to be there some goddamn where. Underdog,
Well,
tag team, like
and
it's
I
no
think
way in hell.
in business wise too. I mean, the dude definitely moves merchandise, or he
Oh
did. I
yeah.
assume he still does. He's just, despite all of his issues he's had and stuff, like I think he's still a draw. Like, yeah, he's an older fella now, but like, if he was to show up on WWE TV tomorrow, he'd get the biggest pop of the night, probably, right? Like, he's people love him. People love him, and he's
If he
entertaining.
came out,
He's a special talent, man, for sure. And him putting his body on the line the way he did, like it's impressive. He can still walk, to be honest. But yeah,
Honestly, I'm surprised he can.
for sure. I
right.
think honestly, if he would have came out instead of Joe Hendry at WrestleMania, that would have been a
Well, I
way
did
bigger
hear
pop.
that was one of the names thrown
That's
around
why I'm saying.
backstage. It was one of the names they said.
That's why
Do you
I'm
remember I
saying.
told you there was that report earlier this year that they said they really wanted to bring back the Hardy Boys, more specifically just Jeff, but they haven't kind of figured it out yet, which is why they were on NXT that one time.
I'll take it, but if Jeff Hardy would have came out at WrestleMania, I love Joe Hendry. I think Joe Hendry is doing great work. The pop Jeff Hardy would have got if his own theme music would have popped up, shit would have hit the fan immediately.
One of
Because
my
everybody
favorite
loves Jeff Hardy.
returns ever is still the Hardy Boys at, what was it, WrestleMania 33 or 4, when they came back, man. Like, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Great, good feel, good moment, because I didn't expect that shit. Hell, this was at the time.
I wasn't even watching wrestling. I remember seeing that shit pop up on Twitter, and I was still just like jaw dropped, like, yo, they're back. Like, yo, that's fucking crazy.
Right,
I think the one I still think about was Edge when he came back in 2020. Literally had me sit there like for a second, just like jaw dropped. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, he what?
Yeah, that was a good one too.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I have one. I don't know if I have like a return that was so like monumental to me, like it fucked the game up for me. And it's because I don't know. I ain't really get another grasp of like expecting somebody. It's like the Hardy Boys, it was a good one, but it's like at some point I knew they was gonna have to come back at least one time, just because the Dudley Boys came back one time. So I'm like, I'm expecting the Hardy Boys.
Right.
But I mean, at that time, one of the greatest. My jaw was dropped at it. It's a good one, but it's not my go-to one. If I had to say one that really fucked me up, Undertaker coming back, Survivor Series 2006 or 7, when he pushed through the casket after it got hit with a lightning bolt. That would probably be one that like I fuck with the most. It's not one of my.
I would say I got so goddamn many just because like there was a point where I just didn't watch wrestling, but I obviously still knew about it. So like
exactly,
I think the one that like if I had to think about one that absolutely destroys me, it's Punk coming back to wrestling when he first came back to AEW. That shit, I was like, I never expected this man to step back in the ring. I was like, he got his ass kicked in UFC, and I thought that was the last time I ever see Punk on TV.
It was a great pop, though. I will say.
Oh my! Can you remember? It was in Chicago. Mm-hmm. They went crazy.
Yeah, no, it was.
I'll never forget where I was when I watched that, and I know there was hype, there was talk and rumors, and like so it was pretty much like spoiled in a way, but like didn't take away from it at all, man. Like I'll never forget that moment where I was who I was with. Like you remember stuff like that, right? Memories, like, with certain moments. Yeah, that was a good one too. Brock Lesnar in 2012. That one was like for me.
That was a crazy ass one. That was another one where it's like you never expected him to come back, and like you really didn't hear shit until it happened. You're just like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
I miss when that used to be a thing in wrestling.
Shutting
the fuck up. That's one of my elements. See, it's
the internet, man. You can't have nothing not getting ruined in some capacity, way, shape, or form due to technology. But kind of circling back to you, Spike. What would you say, like, so far has been like one of your favorite experiences being a wrestler? You know, like you said, you only been doing it for about a year or so. You know, I'm guessing you've learned a lot, taken a lot from like the matches you've had and seen. So, like, what would you say like is like one of your favorite experiences so far?
Oh man, I got so many good ones. Like in a short amount of time, I've been really blessed with being surrounded by great people, great vets, people that have kind of taken me under their wing and showed me different things. Try to take something from different guys, right? Because everybody's been through different experiences and people
Yeah,
work different. And obviously, like getting to work with guys that have been around the business for some 15, 20 years. Uh, they'll teach me different stuff. Um, but for like for moments specifically, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. This it's kind of a recency bias thing because this recently just happened, and I know you guys know the big bad LG.
yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's my
I
guy.
know what you're talking about.
Well,
Mm.
I'm not a big fan of this fella right now. So we have had a little bit of a thing going on for a few months about dealing with my mother. He's been saying a lot of stuff and trying to take her out on a date and stuff. So
God
I'm a
damn it.
family man. I don't like to put up with that nonsense. But with that being said, last month CCW show, myself and my good friend Slick McGrick were teaming up to take on the Big Bad LG and his business partner, the Big Kerry Killam. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. Big man, 6'5", 300 something pounds.
I've seen him on his on LG's Instagram.
Friggin' sweater vest. He's all about business, man. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
well, we thought these guys have been messing with us for a little bit too long, playing mind games, talking about my mom and all this nonsense. So we thought we'd turn the tables on them. So what we did, these guys came out, and as we were about to come out, we Logan Green's music hit. They were already in the ring. Why is Logan Green's music playing? Well, didn't we come out? Me dressed as Logan Green, Slick McGrick dressed as Harry Killam. I was doing the whole friggin', baby, friggin' flamboyant, whatever. Basically mocking Logan. And the pop we got was insane. People were laughing their head off. Logan was having a friggin' meltdown in the ring. It was just one of those like great moments. We got so many compliments too. Like I had people coming up saying that we stole the show and this and that. That was a really cool moment. It was a lot of fun. One of the most funnest times I've had yet. Yeah, but I don't know. My first big win. I mean, I had I guess a couple wins racked up before, but my first CCW win, I should say, I wrestled Wesley Pipes, and I think
Okay.
Another big guy.
and that I was relatively new in CCW at the time. I might have had 3 or 4 matches, and I hadn't picked up a win. Who would think I was going to be, the muscle beast, right? And I mean, he friggin' beat me pillar to post, but got him in the end, big roll up, huge pop. I don't think anybody had seen it coming. I didn't even see it coming. Anyway, that was a really cool moment, and having a veteran guy like that kind of put me over too. Like, I, it was just a cool night. It was cool to pick up that big win, and you know, yeah, I've had some great moments, man. Like, it's hard to narrow it down to just one because this
I
year,
mean, I love that for you. Hell yeah.
yeah, I can't complain. Like the Fatal 4-Way in IPW, you guys are talking about, that was a lot of fun. Um, that was a little nerve wracking. My first multi-man match, and but it went really well. I've heard nothing but good things, and I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, I had the friggin' flu during it, so that sucked, but I think I survived it anyway. Um, I've had a lot of fun, man, a lot of good moments. So I'll just leave it at that for now. I could sit here and talk all day, man, because it's just been quite a ride this short amount of time, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you said that. I mean, it sounds like we're gonna have to definitely come back to this for a part two.
Oh yeah, for
Like for
sure.
sure.
It'd be sweet,
It's
man.
still
That'd be
so much
great. I
fun.
mean, I got so much stuff I could talk about, and even just like backstory stuff too. Like I know I touched on a little bit heart stuff and like heart problems and whatnot, and but I mean like I got there's so much. I mean I can sit here and talk to you boys about stuff all day. Like I just wrestling's my passion, man. I'm just so blessed to be able to actually do something that I love, and you know, fan support's been unreal. So yeah, it's been sweet, man. So yeah, part two for sure.
Hey, man,
Hell yeah.
however many we can get to, man, to get to know you better. Because I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. We having a good one.
Oh yeah, this is
So,
great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been great.
getting on into the thing that one of our brothers, LC from 773, he couldn't be on today and everything, but his main thing has always been the attire side of the business and everything. It seems like with the t-shirt and everything, like it gives off, like wearing it in a match like gives off a hardcore type of feel for you and everything, like old ECW days. But it also like gives me, like when it comes down to the kick pads and everything, like glittery-ish type of kick pads and everything. That's I always thought that was creative about your ring gear and everything, because not too many people, like it's always like it seems like a representation of like something important to you and everything. So I wanted to know why you chose the ring gear the way that you have.
Um, yeah, it was a tough decision coming up with what I wanted the whole thing to be, because there's so many different routes you can go, and I'm like, okay, I could do the long boys like the tights, or I could do the trunks, the little trunks. And I'm like, well, frig, I don't know if I got the legs for the trunks. I got like chicken legs. That might look a little silly. So and I've always kind of liked tights, so I gave them a try, and I thought so. I got and I wanted to stand out because you could just go generic one color tights, which I did at the beginning because wrestling gear is not cheap, especially if you want
I would
custom
imagine
wrestling gear.
not.
I looked up prices for that shit.
So,
That shit
high spots, black tights still cost over $100, which is nuts. But so I went with that for the beginning. But I wanted to do something, something a little more unique, something just like something me. So, like, I got my tights custom made. Um, I got the Spike logo on the side. Like, I wanted to have my name a part of it. Uh,
Mhm.
and then color wise, I just really like the look of like the white and the black with like a little strip of silver coming down. I always like, just like white and black. Like, I don't know. And then the kick pads, um, to be honest, the kick pads, like they're kind of like a sparkly, silvery, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they were just one of the cheaper options on the site at the time when I was looking. So, but I do like the kick pad look. So I was definitely going kick pads. And then, trying to think. And then with the t-shirt, um, the logo, a guy that trains with us. Well, actually, he just recently made his debut. He he just made it out of, I don't know, just something he wanted to do. He likes doing stuff like that. So and I was like, pretty great, like it works. Let's roll with it. So I just started rocking that. I've come up with a few different logos ever since. But so the spike. I'll give you a little backstory on that real quick. Since we're here, and it is a part of my story too. So, talking about my love of wrestling, my uncle Mike, uh, we used to call him Uncle Spike. Big dude, probably could have been a wrestler himself. We bonded as I got over, especially over wrestling. He was a big wrestling fan, and he almost became like a father figure to me as my life went on. We got really close, and we'd always bond over wrestling and stuff. And anyway, he randomly suddenly passed away in 2017, and like that shook our whole family. So when I got into wrestling and coming up with who I am, well, I want to pay homage to him, right? So that's why I am Spike. And I am the one Spike Estey. Technically, I am the second, but that's where the name Spike comes from. Estey is my last name. Spike Estey, so I'm paying homage to him. And the logo. Uh, so as I said, I had 3 open heart surgeries. So you got a spike going through a heart, man. Like so, it all ties in. Everything ties in. The gear, like I just wanted everything to flow. between my name, my style of wrestling, my gear, like everything, man. And I mean, uh, I'm I am me. Like it's as real as it gets, really. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. The ring gear is important. Like that's I think a reason why I love Jeff Hardy. He had a unique look. The reason I like certain guys, like just the way they looked in the ring, not just the wrestling skill, their style and everything. It was the look,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and I know I don't have like the most unique look in the world, but I still wanted to just do my own things and whatever I liked, so like with the color schemes and everything. And so yeah, that's the gear. That's basically it. I don't necessarily have like an inspiration behind it or anything, but like with the name and the logo, especially, like it all ties into my whole story, man.
Bro, before I let you go, I gotta ask you: have you ever had a matchup with Ricky Mortis?
No, no, I haven't, but I met him for the first time at IPW Takeover when I was there.
I think y'all would either have a awesome one-on-one match, or y'all would make one hell of a tag team for a little
Really?
bit. I just want to put that out there. Just you know, IPW Justin, if you're watching, I'm just saying if the cards ever were in line and y'all needed help at if y'all had a match against AWOL or anything, and they tried to attack one of y'all, I'm just saying y'all would be one hell of a tag team to work with. I think that y'all tandem of both just free base wrestling would also being able to put y'all body on the line as well as give people a good ass show. I think y'all partnership would be fire. I'm just
Yeah.
putting that out there.
Okay.
Shout
You
out
never know
to
what the
my
future
man
will hold,
Ricky
right?
Mortis, but I'm just saying that would be, if you wanted to, get into the tag team side of business as well, I think that would be somebody I would say I think would work well with you and exactly, have you
Okay.
talking and everything because you guys kind of got a similar thing with each other like when like especially the Jeff Hardy thing. That's what makes me put y'all at the top of the list for me
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
But even then, like y'all have such like a tone of like free base and just going out there and actually willing to put on a great show. Like I said before, putting your body on the line. That fatal 4-way match, I seen it. Insane, good matches. The suplex power bomb thing
Thank you.
off
Yeah,
the
I
hook.
appreciate
Like
it.
it was one of the matches where I personally think that you guys left the crowd satisfied with everything. So that's just my personal opinion on it. Just because I did watch a few matches back of Ricky Mortis, get a good vibe on him and everything.
Yeah.
And as I'm talking to you, I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, man, if I seen this dude in a tag team match, who would I pick as his tag team partner? That's who I personally would pick. So I just had to
Okay.
add that on real
Well, you
quick.
never know what the
But
future will hold. I mean, and then it was just announced. I don't know if you've seen it. It was just a few days ago, but I am coming back to IPW in
mm,
September.
okay.
Um, don't got an opponent yet, but I'm sure we'll figure that out in the next month or two. So I'm excited to get back to the island because it was a really good experience. I mean, I was sick as a dog, which sucked, but we still went out there and put on a hell of a show. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of that match because it was 3 out of the 4 guys in that match. It was our first time ever in a fatal 4-way match. Um, some of the stuff we did in that, like stuff I've never done before, that Tower of Doom superplex, like
Mm.
that was all new for me. And then it was just like, let's freaking go for it. But we wanted to steal the show, and I think we did, man. And I'm looking to do that. I look to do that every time I go out there. Who doesn't? I mean, 'cause, the fans pay their hard-earned money to come in and watch us put on a good show. That's all about is the fans, right? So every time I'm out there, man, like I want to be. I know I'm still very new, and I got a lot to learn. I'm always looking to get better, but like I want when this is all said and done, because I don't know how much time I got left to do this. I mean, you never know with my health and stuff, man. Like this could
Mm-hmm.
last 5 years, this could last 10 years, this could last 2 years. I go out there and give it everything I got every single night. Um, no matter who I'm working with, no matter what, like it doesn't matter, man. And I love it, and I love doing it. Like I said, this is the only time when I go out to that curtain that I have that like childhood excitement, like that feeling of like nothing else in the world exists. It's just this. But I mean, hey man, like check out. You're talking tag team. Check out the one I was saying about me and my tag partner there in CCW, Slick McGrick, against Logan Green and Kerry Gillum. It'd be on the Capital City Wrestling YouTube. You'll get a laugh, and I think it was a pretty good match too. So definitely check that one out for sure, boys. Like,
Oh, definitely gonna check that out.
Leonard, Justin, he don't have an opponent in September. You know what to do. I'm just saying.
Oh, Justin's on it. Justin's on the ball. I know.
Hey, knowing Justin, he probably does watch all of our episodes just so he can criticize you.
Hey, I know he is. I know he waiting to say something about Jeff Hardy in the comments. So I'm gonna pin a special part in this video just for you, Justin. I got you.
Justin's a beauty, man. Like he, I have only met him in person the one time, but I mean, he's called me. He called me on my birthday was last week. He called me. I was at the gym. Gave me a call. Talking. How's your baby? How's your family? I was like, he's a good guy. Really good guy. So I'm excited that I get to be a part of the
love
IPW
Justin.
family.
Such a great guy.
Yeah.
Have him on. Whenever we get a chance to. Always gives good energy. Just all around great guy. So big shout out to you, Justin. You know what to do. I'm just saying. I ain't forget about that.
And listen, guys,
I love you, Justin.
I gotta give a shout out to my hometown CCW. Listen, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for those guys giving me the opportunity to train with them, and they got me to where I am, man. Like if it wasn't for them giving me that opportunity in the first place and giving me the platform, like it's just been such a blessing, man. And like I can't thank those guys enough. CCW is my home. It will forever be my home. I owe those guys everything.
Always.
So yeah,
I love the
CCW,
love for Capital City Wrestling.
What's that?
I said I just love the love that you guys give to Capital City Wrestling, because just like you and Fantana and AWOL, like you guys, Stormy Hale, Logan Green, like you guys have always given out y'all love for CCW in the Maritime Wrestling area. Like I love that, just because like everybody, talks about their main goals of being like WWE and everything like that. And I mean, that's everybody's dream. Who doesn't want that? If you say you at being a wrestler and you say, hey, WWE or this and that isn't in my main line of like, dream goals, you're lying. But being able to still say you come from a certain area of like giving the opportunity and always sticking, with that company, that's some good loyalty. Now, not saying you won't branch off or, try to go do anything else, but the fact that you like still have time to say, hey, this is the place that supported me. This is the place that gave me the opportunity to grow as a person, as well as the aspect of being able to possibly do this in my future to help out somebody to go aspire to be, the next world champion and wherever they go to. Like, that's the one thing I always say about the loyalty of wrestling and everything. I miss more of that. That could be one of the key contributors to what I would think, because I think loyalty to places that basically helped you and expanded yourself into being able to go out there and get more opportunities is one of them things. So it's like always show love to where you started from, unless it was a terrible place, and then it's like to hell with them. But if you had a good moment
I got nothing
with that place,
to say.
got you.
No, that, yeah.
All right, bro. You got something that you want to add before we?
No, man.
Sorry.
No, you're straight. You're straight. No, I've loved this interview we've done with Spike so far. This is great. Seems like an amazing guy. Definitely excited to see what you got cooking up for IPW in September. Definitely gonna go home and watch that match with my girl. I just haven't to tell you, me and Sad, that's all we do is we just watch matches now. So Spike, I got you. I'm checking out that 4-way match, and I'm gonna check out that tag match when I get to the crib. Man.
For sure. But before we get up out of here and everything, we are going to quickly get through with 5-minute wrestling rants. Now, usually we do this for 20, but we're going to do a part 2 anyway, so we're definitely going to get back to you on that one. But in the matter of 5 minutes, we're going to ask you a bunch of questions. Some of them might have stuff to do with wrestling. Some of this might just be to see if we like you as a person. But so far, I fuck with him.
Party,
so I ain't got no problems. But with 5 minutes and everything, we want you to be as truthful with your answers as possible. So you ready?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go.
5 minutes on. Would you rather take 3 super kicks unprotected from Shawn Michaels, or take 3 DDTs from Mick Foley?
3 DDTs. I love taking DDTs. I spike myself around my head. It's my favorite move to take.
See, I don't know, Mick Foley. I don't think I could take a Mick
Well,
Foley.
Yeah, but
hey.
see, you getting straight CTE with Shawn Michaels kick. See, it ain't no normal super kick like it is nowadays. No, Shawn Michaels, he was putting people down like dogs.
Oh yeah, not people.
Listen,
You know,
I'd be
Shawn
honored to take
Michaels.
either move from either guy.
You know, fair.
Favorite finishing move.
Favorite what, sorry?
Finishing move.
Of all time, I mean, I probably would have to say the Swanton Bomb. Because, you know, Jeff Hardy's my guy. And he just, the way he did it, though. Nobody else, just Jeff Hardy's.
You know, I was just literally telling somebody the other day, I was like, you know, it's one thing for somebody else to do somebody's move, because it was this one Spanish wrestler, she was going against Mercedes Moné, and she hit the one-winged angel. And Mercedes kicked out, and everybody was freaking out, being like, oh, well, when Kenny hits the move, nobody kicks out of it. But I'm like, yeah, but Kenny's the originator of that move. So, you know, you get hit with an RKO by Randy, you're going down. Jesse hits me with an RKO, I could probably still kick out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
It depends on where that RKO coming from. Because that RKO coming out of nowhere,
That's why I said probably.
Boy, I got RKO for Chris ass. But I want to ask you, who do you think in the later years of wrestling that you see on TV now that you feel are going to be the stars of the future?
I'm a big LA Knight guy, but I know he's not a young fella. So, I mean, I would love to see LA Knight a little further. But I will say, besides that, and you're talking future, Chad Gable or, you know, El Grande Americano, even though they're not the same person. Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two. I love those guys, and I, you know, Jacob Fatu, man, the future is looking good. I think you know.
Oh yeah,
it's in good hands.
I mean, I feel like just overall, just the whole wrestling scene in general, we got some like really talented young people just from WWE to AEW to New Japan to CMLL to AAA. Like we got like all these different promotions with all these like just so much potential out there. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Like Stephanie Vickar, she's now one of the biggest female wrestlers, and she was just in CMLL last summer.
Yeah.
So like you never really know like how the ties of the wrestling scene are going to turn out, but like you said, like we're definitely in good hands. We got a lot of just crazy talent.
Oba Femi or whatever, like man, like that guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, like there's just so many. So I'll just go with those guys, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Great.
Like Estey,
what's your favorite match type?
Or
what's a match you want to see yourself compete in within like the near future?
Oh man, you know what? Like I would love, maybe not so much after the fact. Like I'm saying it now, but when I do it, I'm gonna be like, that was stupid. But like a street fight, falls count anywhere hard, like any, you know, like just I just want to beat someone with a chair, man, or get beat with it. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like some kind of like no rules match. I haven't had anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
Extreme rules. We'll say that. How about that one?
All right.
Especially if it's against Logan Green, I'd love to whoop his ass a few more times.
Justin, book it right now. Book it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, nah. See, I want to see that matchup in Capital City. I want to see how that crowd reacts to Logan Green taking the ass, because Logan Green out there in Capital City, oh, he know how to get
Listen, dude, we've had a feud going for 2 months, man. We got a one-on-one. We did the tag, and then we did last night we just had one more, man. And I won't tell you how that ended. I'll let you guys watch for yourself. But we've had some good matches, man. So there's lots of them on YouTube. Me and Logan Green.
Okay.
We're gonna check out a few more of these.
Oh yeah.
You know, finishing up with this questions and everything like that, we actually going to start with the burning question. Usually, this is the question we ask at the end of the podcast with all our interviews. So,
Yep.
it's your turn. When you all done with wrestling and everything, and you put your kick pads and your gear off to the side, and you collect all your accolades, your championships, your tournament wins, all of the things that you are going to get done in the future. When you all said and done with wrestling, it's no more. Who exactly is Spike going to be in the future? What is Spike going to potentially knock out on his bucket list once his career is all said and done?
Well, I'm a new father, 6 month old at home, first baby. My goal, I had two goals getting into this. Well, I guess when I got into this, I didn't know I was going to have a child because when I started training, it was long before we knew. But I had two goals. Well, three goals. One was to just do it and say I did it, even if I had the one. I remember after my first match, I said, if this is the only match I'm ever going to do for whatever reason, I did it. I proved myself and everybody else wrong. But winning a championship of some sort, but most importantly, uh, I wanted my daughter when she's old enough to know what's going on, just come see me and cheer me on. You know what I mean? So when it's all said and done, man, like I just hope people look back and enjoyed the stories and in the moments I've given them. I'm a big believer of moments, and I guess when it's all said and done, I'll be the same Spike Estey I am right now, man. That's a father, and that's a family man, and hopefully I can leave some sort of legacy. It's so early to say because I mean, it's been a year, right? So, and
Right,
there's a
you're
lot
still
of
so fresh to the game.
maritime wrestlers, man. Yeah, yeah, and anything can happen at any time, man. Injuries, whatever. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just proud of myself for even doing it, and I'm thankful I have a wife that believes in me and supported me in this, and uh, I just, when it's all said and done, man, I'm just gonna be who I am, man. And that's like I said, a family man, and then and you never know. Like if I have a long run in this, like maybe I'll stick around the business if I ever really, really, really like make it and make a name for myself. Help out the young guys. You know what I mean? Because I've had a lot of these veteran guys take me under the ring and help me. Guys like Rugged Rick Owens, Motley Crew, uh, Chris Charters was a big one. Uh, yeah, Port City's finest Caden, uh, Wesley Pipe. Man, there's been so many. Um, so yeah, it would be cool to give back that way too to the business, right?
Right. I mean, I love that answer. I mean, honestly, me being a dad as well, I have a daughter as well. My daughter will be 3 this year, and then my son is 5 months old as well. So I
Yeah, man,
understand,
girl
like,
dad.
the girl dad. Like, I understand that for sure. So it's like being able to say, building something for your kids to be able to watch you do and see that you love doing what you do is
Yeah,
something that it's always going to be that important aspect of the future and everything, and also giving back to the business and everything would be cool as well. um
yeah,
Tons of guys give us a bunch of great answers and everything. This one might actually probably be one of my favorite answers. Basically, might be the girl dad, weighing me in on saying why I enjoyed it
yeah,
so much. But I mean, the answer is basically unlimited with good answers and everything, and this just shows with us, having that as the final send off question. I mean, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got our boy here, Spike Estey. I appreciate you for coming back on and everything. Big being on the lookout for September to see IPW as well as going on Capital City YouTube page. We're gonna leave a link down below for a few of those matches actually. But yeah, man, just being able to finally say we had a chance to sit down with you. You got to, for a year of being on the wrestling scene, he had a pretty good fan base because a lot of people, a guy that we always had, in our comments and everything, Connor, he definitely mentioned having you on before. So it's like being able to say
Yeah,
we
man.
got that out the way and everything. Big shout out to you, Connor, one of the guys. So, being
Big
able to
shout out to
say
Connor, man. He's a big Spike supporter.
like
Hell yeah.
such a great guy. Can't wait for him to see this interview and everything. Can't wait for others to be able to come out and find out the name of Spike Estey, just because hey, we get a good attraction out from the Maritimes. So shout out to you guys out there in Canada and New Brunswick, all over, giving us love and support. Being able to say that you've grown in a year, like a lot of people love seeing you in your matches and everything. They like seeing the funny comedic ways, but also how serious you take it in the ring, with
Yeah.
a year under your belt. So again, big shout out, and I appreciate you for coming on to the show and everything. We are
Thanks for
gonna get
having me.
up out of here and everything, but as y'all know, I'm Jay the Kid. That's Broke Boy Bray. This was another episode of Four Ropes Fools podcast, but we want to thank you for wrestling. Peace.